Good evening, friends. Welcome to the PANSIGHT webinar. Let's start the slideshow. Today's topic, EKLAVYA Mindset for Success. That's EKLAVYA, that is DRONACHARYA. And EKLAVYA cut his thumb. I assume many of you may be aware of this story. EKLAVYA is the son of a tribal leader. He wanted to learn archery. Dronacharya was the guru for the Kauravas and Pandavas. So he approached Dronacharya and asked him to teach him archery. Dronacharya refused. He was not a Kshatriya. Then what happened? Did EKLAVYA give up? I'm using certain words. Remember, he didn't give up. EKLAVYA mindset is such that if you want to achieve a goal, you don't give up. You find some other way. So what did he do? He observed. He observed from distance how the Dronacharya was teaching Arjuna. He learned through observation. Then he went back. He made a, what you call, a murti, Dronacharya, a clay model. And he treated that as his guru. Obviously, you cannot learn anything by just praying or guru. If you go to temple, do it in that, again, in front of the temple, you pray and you will get some skills. No way. People who go to temple every day and praying, you are not going to get this. For that, you have to put active effort. So he learned through self-education, self-effort. And one day what happened? Arjuna and other Pandavas, they went into the forest with their dog. The dog ran. The dog ran and then it was barking. It was disturbing EKLAVYA. EKLAVYA, without even looking at the dog, from the sound, he sent an arrow. It just the dog in the mouth of the dog. It didn't hurt the dog, but the dog could not bark. So the dog came back. And when Arjuna saw, an arrow inside the mouth of the dog, that requires a lot of skill, precision. So he went and told Dronacharya. And the Dronacharya and Arjuna, they went inside the forest to find out. Then they saw this EKLAVYA. And he was practicing archery. So Dronacharya went and asked him, who is your guru? And he said, you are my guru. You are my guru. And he showed us that clay, that murti. Dronacharya didn't want somebody to excel his disciple, Arjuna.
Thank you. Thank you.
So please keep your microphone muted. Okay. So what did you do? Oh, you haven't given me the Guru Darshana. If I am your guru, you must give me the Guru Darshana. EKLAVYA said that, okay, what do you want? I want your right thumb. Because if you want to practice archery, the thumb is the most important, the finger. Without any hesitation, EKLAVYA cut his thumb and gave Dronacharya his thumb. So you all know this much of story. Do you know what happened afterwards? What happened to EKLAVYA afterwards? If you don't know, put no in the chat box. If you don't know what happened to EKLAVYA, what did you do? No. Archanaji, no. Okay. Dadamara, no. I also didn't know till last week. Okay. till last week, I also didn't know what happened. Because when I chose this topic, then I started doing a lot of reading and research. Then I learned this mythology. Obviously, there'll be some facts, some fiction, but what I learned is, he learned to, again, he didn't give up with the remaining fingers and with the left-handed thumb also. And I know as a medical doctor, some patients, we have Dr. Shaji also, neurologist, and Dr. Mohanlal, neurosurgeon. Some patients, when they, right-handed people, and they develop paralysis or weakness of the right hand, then they start writing with the left hand. And some people get better with the left hand. So the same way, EKLAVYA also, he practiced with the left hand as well as in the right hand with the other fingers. Again, he became a very strong archer. And he joined the army of Jarasandha. And the Jarasandha was Krishna's enemy. So at Dwaraka, EKLAVYA went to fight a battle in the EKLAVYA. And he killed many Yadavas. Because he was a very, very talented, strong archer. Then EKLAVYA was killed by Lord Krishna. So is it a new information? If it is a new information, put a yes. So I learned this one. I spent nearly 1 to 2 hours visiting different websites to know what happened to EKLAVYA. So take-home message is, don't give up, don't give in, find alternate way. Practice makes it perfect. Strong determination. Okay, now let me move to the next slide. EKLAVYA mindset empowered me with the knowledge and skills required to accomplish many things in life. My dear friends, during the talk, I'll be sharing how by developing an EKLAVYA mindset, I was able to achieve some goals, which I thought I would not be able to. I thought impossible. I use the word impossible. They became possible. That's why I'm so excited about giving this talk. I preach what I practice, and I practice what I preach. No hypocrisy, period. My dear friends, I'm making this statement. I talk about things which I have tried and succeeded. If I couldn't succeed, I'm not going to. I won't teach others to do this one. I'm not a preacher. There are many people, they preach, they don't practice. I'm not. This webinar is based on FEQ, facts, experience, and course. There are many books on self-education, self-empowerment. I'm showing you a couple of titles. Self-empowerment. I'm sure that is, some of you might have heard this saying, Vidya Dhanam, Sarvadanal Pradhanam. If you have heard, say yes in the chat box. I want to know whether you are aware of this saying. Then I'm going to explain further. I will explain further. Yes, thank you, Dadaji, Archerayanji. Ramannaji, no. Okay, that's fine. Don't feel bad. Roy, MC, yes. The point is, Dhanam means wealth. The word Dhanam means wealth. So, Vidya Dhanam. That is a knowledge. Vidya is knowledge. The wealth of knowledge is superior to all other forms of wealth. Wealth of knowledge, number one, everything else below that. Then you must understand one more thing. If you have, Ladaji, if you have gold ornaments, diamond necklace in your home, that is your wealth. A thief can, a burglar can come and steal everything. Or if the home is damaged, just like right now in Los Angeles, wildfire, already more than $50 billion of damage. Even the houses, palatial houses of many Hollywood actors completely destroyed. What happened to that wealth? Gone. Knowledge. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can steal it. It will come with you wherever you go. So that is another reason. Vidya Dhanam. Sarva Dhanal Pradhanam. Do you find this explanation interesting? If you find it interesting, put I. So that is what? The superiority. Okay, Dr. Archana ji. Okay, Roy Cherian ji. Okay, thank you. The greatest single source of wealth is between your ears. The real wealth is between 2 ears, your brain. Okay, that is where the so-called mind is residing. That is the greatest wealth, internal, not external.
Hi.
Self-education. What's the definition of self-education? Acquiring knowledge and skills by one's own efforts without formal instruction.
Okay.
That is what EKLAVYA. He acquired all knowledge and skills not from a guru, not from a formal teaching, by his own efforts. Isaac Asimov. Self-education is, I firmly believe, the only kind of education there is. Then self-empowerment. Once you get knowledge and skills through self-education, what happens? That will boost your self-confidence, self-esteem. They are the, what you call, foundation stones for success and happiness in life. Agreed? If you agree, put A in the chat box. Because I don't want it to be a monologue. I want to make it an interactive one. So, I'm making it logical. So, that will bring you more success and happiness. That is self-empowerment. Thank you, Santoshi. The reason I'm frequently asking you to respond, because this is an online session. Offline, I could watch your face. I could watch your body language. Then you don't have to give an answer. From your body language, I'll be able to know, oh yeah, whether it is you understand or not. Now, most of you have not turned on your camera. So I don't know what is going on in your minds. That's why I'm asking you. S.P. Balasubramanyam. No formal training. No formal training. Through his own self-efforts, that music notations and everything he learned. He had interest, that passion. More than 40,000 songs in 16 languages, Padma Vibhushan awardee. Do you need any other example, a better example than this S.P. Balasubramanyam? Not even one day goes without my listening to at least 4 or 5 songs sung by S.P. Balasubramanyam. Kishore Kumar again. No formal training. EKLAVYA. Are you convinced? If you are convinced, put C in the chat box. EKLAVYA, whereas Yeshus asked, when for formal training, And even Chambai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar, look at that one. Who achieved greater success? Jesudas or S.P. Balasubramanyam? S.P. Balasubramanyam. And he went to study engineering. His initial goal was to become an engineer, get a salary of 250 rupees. His father wanted him to become an engineer. Then everything happened by chance. He loved music, and in his college, that music competition, he participated. S. Janagi was there at that time. She was the guest. S. Janagi was impressed. She asked him to try the film field. S. Janagi. So everything by chance. But you need that passion. You need that passion and perseverance. Thomas Edison, more than 1,000 patents to his credit. His formal schooling was few months. In the school, the principal and teachers, they insulted him. They told him he is a dumb. Because he asked questions. When you ask questions, the teachers who are very superficial knowledge, they will get angry. Because that is exposing their ignorance. So when they humiliated his mother, okay, stopped him going to school. She did the homeschooling. She taught him how to read, write. That's all. Then she got him all the books. Self-educated scientist, inventor, all the electric bulb, music industry, then movie industry, motion camera. Edison was EKLAVYA. Are you convinced? Convinced? See, because I am trying to make sure there is whatever examples I give, I show they are authentic. As Jayachandranji, Rajiji, thank you. Then Malcolm X. Have you heard about him? If you have not heard about him, put N in the chat box. Then I'll explain who this Malcolm X was. No, okay. Malcolm X, okay, no. Good. So I got some new information. He was a black guy. He lost his father when he was 6 years old. And he was moving from foster home to foster home. In the school, he wanted to become a lawyer. And the teacher said that, no. Black guy, you can never become a lawyer. You can become a carpenter. So he was demotivated. He discontinued studies. He discontinued studies. Then he engaged in criminal activities, burglary, pimping. He was in the jail for 7 or 8 years in the prison. While in the prison, he developed a voracious appetite for reading. And he started reading, and he memorized dictionary. He memorized the dictionary. Can you believe that one? And he came out, he became a strong activist, very powerful speaker, and he shot to fame. And he even became a minister. Minister means a priest in a black church. He was assassinated when he was hardly 40 years old. That is Malcolm X. EKLAVYA. Malcolm X. There's a movie again, Malcolm X. Amritanandamayi and Narendra Modi. Amritanandamayi definitely EKLAVYA. 4th grader, Sudhamani, formal education, 4th grade. She is the chancellor of Amrita University, not vice chancellor, she is the chancellor. And so many doctorates again awarded. She cannot speak English, in Malayalam. She learned how to. EKLAVYA. Are you convinced this one? Amritanandamayi, Ammachi's success. Beyond imagination. This happened. She is still alive. This happened within the last 40 years. from Wallikau. Self-education, self-empowerment. She unique hugging saint. Nobody else started doing that one. She started hugging people. Okay, different. Always do things differently. Do things differently. Then only people will notice you. Lastly, Steve Jobs. Apple computer co-founder. iPhone, iPad, iPod, all these are products of Steve Jobs. Formal education, he is a college dropout. He went to read college. After the first semester, he dropped out. And he chose to study the calligraphy. Because of that one, Apple, all the typeface stylish. So it was, yes, unique. That calligraphy. And he, in a computer club, he doesn't have computer science, any engineering, no formal education, self-educated. And he worked at the Atari computers as a technician. Because of observation, keen interest, okay, he learned, he sharpened. Now you know, Apple is $1 trillion business is a co-founder. So Steve Jobs, EKLAVYA. And he used to read a lot. He was interested in spirituality. He came to India also. And yoga, meditation, Zen Buddhism. And he every year he used to read the autobiography of an yogi. Same book, several times. Philosophy. Reading. And now comes Dhirubhai AMBANI. Dhirubhai AMBANI was born in 1932. Son of a school teacher. He discontinued studies after the age of 16. And he went to Yemen, that country, where his brother was working. And he worked as a clerk in a trading company. Yemen was the trade hub for the Middle East. And he observed import, export, all those things he learned. And he saw an opportunity. Spices. He started a small venture and he started importing spices from India and selling them. And subsequently, when he returned, he started the Reliance industry, textile business. It was started in 1966 in Mumbai. There was no Modi. People always say, Ambani, Modi. 1966, Modi was nowhere there. It was a Congress government. So Ambani, from that one diversified into petrochemicals, communication, energy, and you know India, the second richest that business entities, Ambani, Reliance operation. Self-educated. And I would like to share one of his quotes. Dhirubhai said, if you are born poor, it is not your fault. If you are born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is your fault. Do you like it? If you like it, put L in the chat box. If you die poor, that is your fault. Yes, Dadaji. There are plenty of opportunities, Rajiji. There are plenty of opportunity too. My father was not born with a silver spoon. He was a fourth grader. And he died and he was rich. Through self-education. He started a business. That business is still, yes, Good Morning Stores is still 1955. Now it is almost 70 years old. Still one of the popular shops. He didn't get any MBA. Self-education. from the school of life. I am lucky because I learned a lot from my father. From my father, I learned. He didn't teach me at all. He's a guy, he never taught me anything. But he made me work in the shop for 7 years. All my vacation, Onam, Christmas, the summer vacation. Every year, 3 months in that shop, from morning 7:30 till 10:30. So I had the opportunity to observe him, how he was doing many things. I learned those skills. They helped me a lot in my profession. As a doctor, yes. My father again, EKLAVYA. 5 traits of EKLAVYA mindset. Self-motivation. That is the most important thing. Self-motivation, not from this is internal, it should come from within. Here, many parents, you go and study engineering, you study medicine. They push, they try to motivate. No, it doesn't work. From inside, that drive. Self-education. My dear friends, formal education. I'm going to use a very blunt word, for all practical purposes. Useless. It will help you survive. You must know the difference between survive and thrive. Survive is, yeah. Look at a beggar. Beggar also survives, right? Beggars don't die. They survive. But if you want to thrive, something more. So many people, they are simply surviving the formal education. Yeah, MSc zoology, then PhD in philosophy, and they work as a police constable. For that, you don't require the PhD. I'm sure you know, Ladaji, you know, in Kerala, there are some police constables with a PhD. And there some peon, again, with MSc, biochemistry. Formal education, did that empower them? No. No. But people with the high school dropouts, they are successful entrepreneurs. They start a small business and they thrive. They have that immense confidence. Do you agree? If you agree, put A in the chat box. If you agree, because I'm trying to make sure that whatever I'm sharing is something useful. Yes, Ladaji. Useful. And it should be thought-provoking. It should be thought-provoking. People are all racing for all this PG qualification. I want the MSc, then PhD. Useless. And I see some people, one person, I'm not going to mention the name of that person. That person brags that person has got 3 PhDs and 13 postgrad qualifications. What is the use? What is the use? You don't require so many. That much time wasted. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. Because for getting that one, you have to spend your time, valuable time. Yes, Sumaranaji. That is time wasted, unproductive. You can display, so many, and you can brag about 3 PhD, 13 postgrad qualification, 9 diploma, and 720 certificates. Self-discipline. Yes, nothing can be accomplished unless you have self-discipline. Self-discipline. My father always used to wake up at that particular time, opening the shop at 7:30 sharp. And if he goes for any wedding, he will be there on time. If there's any meeting, he'll be there on time. I acquired that one, self-discipline. When I was working in the hospital, I was the only doctor. There are 14 doctors in our team. Only doctor used to be there 100% punctuality. Work starts at 8 o'clock, I'll be there between 7:50 and 8. Not even one day I was late by 1 second because the computer immediately at his time stamp. So every year we are expected, the doctors are expected to submit a self-evaluation form, self-assessment form. I used to put first sentence, 100% punctuality in reporting for work. The weather is bad right now in the last 4 days, heavy snowing, icy roads. And when I was working also, snowing, I used to leave 30 minutes before. When I know the weather forecast, I wake up early, leave, be there on time. That self-discipline, again from my father I learned. Self-reliance. That is, depending on yourself. Don't depend on others if you can. Self-commitment. The commitment is determination. Perseverance. I will. The word should be, I will, not I wish. Many people, I wish. No. That wish should be replaced with the will. That is what EKLAVYA mindset. I also, long time back, before I developed this EKLAVYA mindset, I wish I could speak English fluently. I wish I could speak English fluently. Wish, nothing happened. I wish I could do this one. Nothing happened. Then when it became, I will, then everything changed. EKLAVYAs do 6 things. They read and think. The 21st century. But when that BC era, that EKLAVYA, he didn't have any books. There was no library. So he didn't read anything. But now, yes, read. Do you know Bill Gates reads 50 books, minimum 50 books every year. Obama reads, voracious reader. Narayana Murthy, Infosys, voracious reader. Read. But what is happening now? What I find is, I don't know, I'm not going to embarrass you by asking this question. Because I know most of you might not have read a book. In the 1 year, only some people may read 1 or 2 books. Read. We are literate, but we are illiterate. There is a word called illiteracy. I mean, you know how to read, but you don't read. That's what is happening in Kerala. Read. Encourage your children to develop that reading habit. Listen and think. Reading is not enough. When you read, you get some new information. Then you must think critically. You evaluate whether it is true, whether it is right. So when you listen to a talk, my talk, if you are listening, you must again think, is this Dr. Reddiar telling is something nonsense or is talking something sense? You must think, okay? When you say that Thomas Edison is a EKLAVYA, is he right? Okay, now, thank you, Ashokji. So, is he right? The examples he showed. So, you are listening, you must think. Many people, they don't think. Then, observe and think. There's a big difference between seeing and observing. You may see something, but observation is different from seeing. That's how the penicillin was discovered, because of the observation power of Alexander Fleming. Penicillin was a chance discovery. He forgot to, close the window and left the petri dish. And after 3 days later, when he came and he saw mold, Ladaji, you must understand that there was a mold in that petri dish. And it was clear on area, the bacteria didn't grow. The bacteria didn't grow there. So observe, you have to, okay, why the bacteria didn't grow there? So something must have stopped the bacteria from growing. And vertical analysis on the Penicillium rotatum, that fungus. Then they extracted that penicillin saved millions of lives during the World War II. Observation, think. Is it interesting? Put I in the chat box. Penicillin, a life-saving drug. Okay, thank you, Anduji. Thank you. Ask what, ask why, ask how. Always learn to ask these three questions. When you see something, hey, what is that? That curiosity, intellectual curiosity, what is that? What is going on here? Some people are gathered around, hey, what is going on there? Hey, what is this? And why did that happen? The why question. Then if something, how can I do that one? Hey, how can I also? These are all EKLAVYA mindset. I didn't have this. Again, I'm making a frank admission. I used to do many stupid things also, even after completing my MD. Because formal education doesn't empower you with the thinking skills. And I never used to do extracurricular reading, was very much limited. I used to read occasionally the Velur Krishnagurti is a humorous, that short stories. Nothing much. When I started reading, I changed acquired that reading habit. Everything changed. Everything changed. Then I started thinking, asking questions, how, who, where, why. Yes. EKLAVYA, they ask questions. 10 resources for self-education, because some people, they immediately, after they talk, they are, oh, you didn't say anything about how to. You didn't say anything about how to. I'm giving you the specific how to. Simple. It is simple, but it requires effort. Simple doesn't mean that, okay, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, you sleep and everything you will get. No. You have to put some effort. That also, just 1 hour a day, 60 minutes. You have 24 hours. 1 hour. It is not a lot. Do that one. Everything will change. Read quotations. I started reading 44 years back. I have a personal collection of more than 50,000 of quotations. For this talk also, I reviewed nearly 200 quotations. From the quotations, yes, it's packed with wisdom, knowledge and wisdom, both. Proverbs, biographies. I have read easily some 50 or 60 biographies. Abraham Lincoln biography. Read it if you haven't read. Then this is a Dhirubhai AMBANI biography, Steve Jobs biography. Then autobiography, the Gandhiji, his autobiography. Then Benjamin Franklin autobiography. People engage in a conversation with ordinary people. I always used to travel by the ordinary, not the first class train. In the train, I never used to take the first class. Ordinary compartment, ordinary people, I engage in a conversation. I ask questions, I listen. And I learn a lot from the people. The auto rickshaw driver, I engage in a conversation. I don't sit still. Auto rickshaw, I learn from the school of life. Learning from the school of life. Engage in a conversation. So people, TED Talks, movies. I watch movies a lot. Every year, I watch more than 300 movies in 4 languages. And some movies I watch again and again. Every time I watch, I learn something new from that movie. The other day, in one dialogue, just like movie, Rajinikanth dialogue, En vazhi, adu thani vazhi. That punch dialogue, En vazhi, thani vazhi. I started thinking, yes, he's right. Kamal Haasan was more handsome, more fair-skinned, and Rajinikanth entered the field as a villain. Now, where is Rajinikanth? Where is Kamal Hassan? Style Manan. They called Rajinikanth the Style Manan. Okay, putting the cigarette and that one and doing anything, walking, everything fast, the dialogue delivery. Yen vadi adu tani vadi. So my own seminars also, you compare my webinars with the webinars of other webinars. This one. I do lot of body language. My slides are different. Am I right? So this is tani vadi. Am I right? If I am right, put R in the chat box. Okay? If it is, yes, thank you. Yeah, I want to make unique. Rajinikanth, that message from that movie. Same way, now ஒரு தடவை சொன்னா அது 100 தடவை சொன்னது மாதிரி. That means communication, clarity. When you say something, it should be clear. Then they will understand. Otherwise, you have to repeat. Yeah. പറഞ്ഞ മനസ്സിലായില്ല. What did you say? What do you mean? No. Clarity. So I learned a lot from the movies. Self-help books. Webinars. From the nature. Webinars. In the last, I started watching the webinars. In September 2020, we have Pradeep. Pradeep is here, he knows. My first webinar, I gave a talk. The topic was common sense. That was in September 2020. Between then and now, 4 years and 4 months, I had the opportunity to participate in more than 2,000 webinars. I am not kidding. In a week, almost at least 10 webinars. And of the 2,000 webinars, what did I learn? Only some less than 10% of the speakers, they know what they are talking about. They know what they are talking about. Other people, they are all just rubbish. Rubbish. So, webinars. Nature. 10 authors. These are some of a partial list of authors. Dale Carnegie, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, Sun Tzu, Osho, Brian Tracy, KP Keshav Menon, Nam Munnottu, Madhurumi Publication, John Maxwell. So don't tell me after this, oh, you didn't tell me there is what books I should read, who is the book and what did you read? I am giving you. I am sharing all these secrets. How I empowered myself. Then what do you do with this knowledge? That is up to you. I have shared. Don't tell me that is okay, Dr. Reddiar, you didn't tell how to. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is where the illiteracy. They don't learn. Self-education. How is that little children are so intelligent and men so stupid? It must be education that does it. It was the 19th century, Alexander Dumas. Am I right? You are saying a 5-year-old, oh, intelligent, oh, these boys are so smart. By the age of 20, most of them are stupid. Is this true? If it is true, put T in the chat box. The young children, they are all intelligent. They are all smart. Their parents, grandparents, everybody will give a certificate. Then what happened by the age of 20? Most of them are become idiots or stupid. Formal education, because in the education, most of the teachers, they have no passion for teaching. They don't encourage curiosity. They kill the curiosity. Traveling is my form of self-education. You know, Santosh George Kolangara. Traveling. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive. I explained the difference between survival and thriving. Charles Dickens, the most important thing in life is to stop saying, I wish. and start saying, I will. Consider nothing impossible, then treat possibilities as probabilities. I have explained. Again, Charles Dickens, some people are nobody's enemies, but their own. I want to briefly explain this one. The real enemy is our own mindset. A negative mindset is a big time enemy. You will be pessimistic. You won't try anything. You won't have any confidence. Let me tell you. I used to suffer from inferiority complex because my color is not fair. I'm not fair-skinned. I was not able to speak English fluently. And the other students in the medical college also who study in the private schools, private colleges, they were able to speak English fluently. I couldn't. Inferiority complex. Then glossophobia, that's fear of public speaking. That's stage fright. Then shyness. Fear of criticism. What will others say? What will others think? What will others say? What will others think? So I wouldn't dare to do anything. Fear of criticism, fear of failure. A lot of these things, negative mindset. My enemies are inside my mind, not external. Is this clear? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. Once I was able to get rid of all these internal enemies, change my mindset, others may criticize, so what? Now I use the word, 2 words. Yes, they may criticize, so what? Sky is not going to fall down. Look at the politicians. Every day, there are millions of people, they criticize Modi. Is he losing his sleep? Jesus Christ was also criticized. So criticism you cannot avoid. Stop worrying. So I stopped. That fear of criticism gone. Then English language. Yeah, I cannot speak fluently. What should I do? Ask the question to myself. Identify the root cause. My vocabulary was poor. So, okay, expand the vocabulary. Learn new words. Yes. When I started as a faculty, I didn't know how to teach. But that strong desire, I wanted my students to respect me. Not because of the title and the teacher. They should respect me because I'm a very good teacher. You know, APJ Abdul Kalam, president, he was able to command respect, not demand respect. Whereas many presidents, the woman, she came after him, she was able to only demand respect. After she ex-president, nobody used to call her. But APJ Abdul Kalam was so busy. Don't demand respect, command respect. So I wanted to command respect. So what did I do? I went to the British Council Library, went to the education section. I started reading books on pedagogy, teaching, expand my vocabulary. It took 6 months only to earn the reputation. I'm a very good teacher. Then what did I do? I stopped taking attendance. I was the only faculty member who stopped taking attendance. I said, okay, if my class is interesting, useful, then you come. Otherwise, you don't have to come. Don't worry about the attendance. More than 90% of the students, they used to come to my class. Everything happened because of that EKLAVYA mindset, self-education. Clear? Crystal clear? Put CC in the chat box. Crystal clear. Thank you, Laraji. I'm sharing all these, my real life stories to motivate people, because hundreds of people may watch my YouTube video. So once they watch that one, okay, they should feel motivated. I'm trying to. That's what my mission is, personal mission. Self-education is active learning. Formal education is passive learning. Self-education ignites curiosity. Formal education kills curiosity. A man who asks is a fool for 5 minutes. A man who never asks is a fool for life. Chinese proverb. Do you like it? If you like it, put L in the chat box. Who asks is a fool for 5 minutes. But a man who never asks is a fool for life. And especially I find, because I'm a Keralite. People in Kerala, oh, their ego won't allow them to admit ignorance. അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ അയാൾ എന്ത് വിചാരിക്കും? ഞാൻ പ്രൊഫസർ അല്ലേ? How can I say I don't know? How can I ask somebody else to teach me? Ego is a big barrier. EKLAVYA, no ego, egoless mind. 4 steps to become an EKLAVYA. Be self-reliant learners. Seek knowledge and develop skills independently. Embrace challenges. View obstacles as opportunities for growth. Don't give up. Don't give in. Perseverance in the face of difficulties. Strive for excellence. Update and upgrade your knowledge and skills. Okay? Come to the end. Next week, hypocrisy Sindabad. They say, Ingulab, Sindabad, hypocrisy, Sindabad. Next week, ups and downs in life. That is a Zoom link. Any questions? Any comments? We have 5 minutes. Did you find this session? I spent lot of time for preparing this talk. Any questions or any comments? Is it from this session, do you think, believe that everybody can become successful if they develop the EKLAVYA mindset? If you believe, put yes. Because I haven't told anything that is impossible. I told you right from the beginning, I preach what I practice. I practice what I preach. Okay. Thank you, Rajaranji. Okay. Ashok Sharmaji, 3 minutes. Go ahead. If you want to ask.
Thank you very much. I would like to add on to what you have said about the EKLAVYA mindset. Because I feel that EKLAVYA is known for its unwavering dedication, perseverance.
Please don't repeat what I have said. I already told. Please.
Okay.
I have shared something new which I have not shared. Anything new? Repetition.
No, he had an unwavering determination and resilience in the face of adversity and self-improvement, and ability to adapt and innovate. And humility and willingness to learn from others and achieve success. And I would like to add persons with that EKLAVYA mindset from the historical perspective. I would like to mention the name of Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela.
Yes, you're right. Because for want of time, I didn't mention.
Yeah,
if anybody has not read the previous talks also, Ashokji, you very infrequently come to my talk. In the previous talks, I mentioned about Abraham Lincoln. So the audience, they are aware of Abraham Lincoln, his successes, and in spite of the failures. I have already shared. That's why I didn't want to duplicate. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And the other author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, because she determination to success despite the poverty. And I would like to also mention the basketball player Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Who always said that I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my life, in my career. And also the Indian athlete Mary Kom.
Okay.
These are persons which I consider have a strong EKLAVYA mindset and which has made them succeed in their life because of their determination and resilience in coming back despite
Thank you, Ashokji. Thank you, Ashokji. 3 minutes are up. I'm going to ask somebody else because we have to, time management is also very important. Okay. Anybody else who wants to ask a question? Or at 9 o'clock, I will stop the recording. Then we can continue discussion. I'll be able to share more stories. And you can also ask more questions. So it is 1 more minute. If anybody wants to ask something, that will be in the recording. And have you noticed Ashok Sharma ji resembles a famous personality, a politician?
Which I don't consider as a
compliment.
Yeah.
But a fact, I told you my talks are based on facts. So it is a fact I'm sharing. Okay, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording and but we'll continue the discussion.
Permit me to